Speaker, you were pretty tough on outside conservative groups for their criticism of the budget deal. As you well know, I mean, just to be candid, they've had a lot of sway in a lot of the decisions that your members have made over the past couple of years. Is this budget market turning point, and are your members, at your behest, going to be more focused on maybe compromise and less on what the outside groups are pressuring them to do?
Listen, I take my fair share of criticism from the right and from the left. I came here to fight for a smaller, less costly, more accountable federal government. And this budget agreement takes giant steps in the right direction. It's not everything I wanted. But when groups come out and criticize an agreement that they've never seen, you begin to wonder just how credible those actions are. And so yesterday, when the criticism was coming, frankly, I thought it was my job and my obligation to stand up for conservatives here in the Congress who want more deficit reduction. Stand up for the work that Chairman Ryan did. He did good work on behalf of the American people. Again, it's not everything we wanted, but our job is to find enough common ground to move the ball down the field on behalf of the American people who sent us here to do their work.
Mr. Speaker, some Tea Party groups, though, are calling this a sellout bill, that you're compromising too much. Is this an example of you finally saying no to the Tea Party?
Listen, this budget bill, gets us more deficit reduction than what we have under the Budget Control Act. I came here to cut the size of government. That's exactly what this bill does. And why conservatives wouldn't vote for this or criticize the bill is beyond any recognition I could come up with.
If Republicans vote for this budget deal, does that undermine their ability to oppose a debt ceiling increase next year?
I don't understand the point.
Well, if they've supported a budget and they support spending at a certain level for the next 2 years, do they have any grounds to oppose a debt ceiling increase to make up for that amount of spending?
Listen, we're going to deal with these issues one at a time. The goal today is to get this budget agreement passed. We'll deal with the debt ceiling when we get there.
So these groups are using your members, using the American people. What do you mean by that?
Well, frankly, I think they're misleading their followers. I think they're pushing our members in places where they don't want to be. And frankly, I just think that they've lost all credibility. When they pushed us into this fight to defund Obamacare and to shut down the government. Most of you know, my members know, that wasn't exactly the strategy that I had in mind. But if you'll recall, the day before the government reopened, one of the people at one of these groups stood up and said, well, we never really thought it would work. Are you kidding me? Listen, you all know me, all right? I say what I mean what I say. I'm as conservative as anybody around this place. And all the things that we've done over the 3 years that I've been Speaker have not violated any conservative principle, not once.
Are you asking these groups to effectively stand down?
I don't care what they do.
As this year comes to a close, I mean, you've had a number of run-ins with sort of the, I don't know what you want to call it, the Tea Party, conservative, whatever wing of your party. You started the year with the attempt to challenge your speakership. There have been various times when they've sort of pushed you into areas where you clearly didn't want to go. Do you feel like you're in a better place as this year comes to an end?
Listen, I think there were a lot of lessons learned over the course of this year, a lot of lessons learned over the course of the last 3 years. And I actually do feel like we're in a better place. I don't usually say it here, but I say it out when I'm out on the stump. All the lessons I learned growing up are the lessons I need to do my job here. I've got 11 brothers and sisters, and you have to learn to get along as a family, learn to get things done as a family. I grew up in a bar. Mopped floors, did dishes, waited tables, tended bar. And you have to learn to deal with every character that comes into place, all right? Trust me. I need all the lessons I learned growing up to do this job.
Are you enjoying this moment, being able to speak up and speak your mind in a way that we haven't seen as much?
I don't really think that I've said anything new or anything different than what I've felt and what I've said in the past. It's just that You know, there just comes to a point when some people step over the line. You know, when you criticize something and you have no idea what you're criticizing, it undermines your credibility. And with that, let me say to all of you, have a Merry Christmas.
Priority for 2014.